It is hard to combat an addiction when the temptations are all around you. Like technology, food addicts struggle with overwhelming access. And as more and more processed foods enter our diets, sugar consumption is on the rise. While we might not think of it on the same level as addictive substances like drugs, research has shown that sugar fires off the same reward centers in the brain as cocaine. Unlike cocaine, we actually do need some sugar in our bodies. It's broken down into energy for our cells. The issue is that we're eating too much of it, and it can be hard to cut back, especially when it's hiding in foods you'd never think of. So this is a pretty standard grocery aisle. Tell me where your eyes go. Where do you
Lisa Dreyer is a nutritionist and a best-selling author. We've come to the best place we could think of to talk about sugar, a typical American grocery store.
Everywhere you look, I mean, there's sugars, and again, not in the places you'd necessarily expect it. Spaghetti sauce. What do we find here?
Exactly right. So here we're looking at tomato sauce, and we see that a half a cup, which is one serving, has 12 grams of sugar.
This isn't even sweet.
The American Heart Association has set daily recommendations for sugar consumption. For women, no more than 6 teaspoons a day. 1 teaspoon is 4 grams of sugar, so that means roughly 24 grams of sugar in a day. Men get a bit more, 9 teaspoons, or 36 grams. But on average, we're exceeding those numbers, big time. Here in the United States, the average adult eats 22 teaspoons of sugar a day.
I think it's really striking to me that a lot of people think they're doing the right thing. They're led to believe that I'm eating healthy, but in fact they're not. What are some of those misconceptions?
I think a lot of people think that just because something is natural, it's healthy. So for example, honey is natural, but it's very caloric, and many people might not even know that a teaspoon of honey, or agave for that matter, has more calories than a teaspoon of sugar or sucrose.
All right, speaking of misconceptions, it is remarkable. I mean, and even I am stunned, and I studied this, but I'm stunned at what you think you're eating and what you're really eating. So talk me through some of this.
Sure. So here we have a quarter of a cup of dried cranberries.
Perfectly healthy and good for you.
Exactly. You toss it on your salad, you combine it with some nuts, but in fact, it contains the same amount of sugar as a quarter of a cup of candy. Who would think that a quarter of a cup of each would have the same amounts?
I mean, again, that is remarkable. And to take it a step further, you'd put that on a salad.
Right.
You wouldn't put this on a salad, but you're essentially doing the same thing.
Essentially, when you think about sugar being sugar. Now that being said, dried cranberries do offer antioxidants, which candy does not. So I just want to show you, this is actually the amount of sugar in 1 can of soda. It's 1 12-ounce can. So you've pretty much maxed out on your sugar intake for the entire day.
Sugar is hiding in many of our foods, and there's both natural and added sugar. Natural sugars are found in foods like fruit and milk in the form of fructose and lactose. Added sugars are included during processing or preparation, but are really empty calories that don't offer any nutritional benefits. There's also artificial sweeteners. Decoding the nutrition label can help identify the different types, but that's easier said than done. The label doesn't distinguish between added and natural sugars, but the FDA is currently considering a proposal to change that. However, the Sugar Association in the U.S. disagrees with the proposal, saying the FDA has not, quote, provided evidence that added sugars labeling is necessary to assist consumers in maintaining healthy dietary practices. According to the Sugar Association, sugar, as in sucrose, not high fructose corn syrup or other sweeteners, is part of a healthy diet when consumed in moderation.
Barbecue sauce, one of the biggest offenders when it comes to added sugars in foods, that is hidden sugar. So I want you to take a look at that barbecue sauce, flip it around. What do you see as the first ingredient?
High fructose corn syrup. Bad sign. Big red flag.
And how many grams of sugar are we talking?
16 grams of sugar per serving.
How many servings was it per?
14 servings.
14 times 4.
Yeah. You're 56.
teaspoons of sugar.
So salads, what could be wrong with salads and salad dressing?
Right, we think of salads as healthy, and we certainly think of a fat-free salad dressing as very healthy, right?
Yep.
So here,
doing this to help take care of your body, take care of your heart.
exactly, we're going to save calories and fat, but in fact, when we look here, we see that 1 serving or 2 tablespoons has 10 grams of sugar. So that's for 2 tablespoons. If we're talking about a ladle, that would be double the amount, or 20 grams of sugar.
So 20 grams of fat-free salad dressing. Yeah, I mean, in 2 servings, you're going to get 20 grams.
That's right, 20 grams. So that's actually
Brought my
more
donuts.
sugar. That's right, than 4 mini donuts. 4 mini donuts have 17 grams of sugar.
You're supposed to be doing the right thing here. Fat-free salad dressing. People might think that doesn't even taste good. I'm punishing myself by eating this, but I'm doing something good for myself. But they're not.
This we expect.
Right.
This we don't.
That's the crucial point, yeah.
Too many sugar calories leads to weight gain and obesity, straining your heart and raising your risk for a stroke or an illness like diabetes. But there's more at play here than just your sweet tooth. You might be craving sugar because it's been shown to be addictive.
It seems to induce cravings and hunger that are comparable in magnitude to those induced by addictive drugs. Does that mean it's addictive? Maybe. I think one of the telltale signs is a loss of control. So if you feel like you can't stop eating the cookies, you have to finish the whole box, you can't stop at 1 or 2, you're obsessing about how you're going to get your sugar fix, and you simply can't focus on anything else. You have that psychological dependence, then I think you're probably talking about a food addiction.
Are there other little tips to cut down on your sugar consumption?
You want to look at the ingredient list. If sugar or any one of a bunch of terms are listed high on the label, you want to avoid that food. So we're talking about corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, agave, honey, molasses, and anything ending in OSE, O-S-E, dextrose, fructose, sucrose. So these are the code words for sugar.
All right, so here's something that I think will astonish. Oh, barely lift this.
25 pounds of sugar.
25 pounds of sugar.
Right.
And now I would tell you, and it would be still alarming if I told you ate this much in a year, but that's not even the case.
That's not even the case. Not only are we eating